Hi, my name is Danielle Janess. I'm coming to you from Dallas Road at Clover Point in Victoria, BC. This land is ancestrally Lekwungen territory. I'm originally from Brights Grove, Ontario, and when I moved here to Victoria about 20 years ago, I started running this stretch of Dallas Road, this 10 or 20 kilometers or so, about every second day. So this is my playground. I live not too far from here, and I come down here when I need to think and walk and be with friends and be on my own. I'll be reading from my debut poetry collection, The Milk of Amnesia, from McGill Queen's University Press. It just came out this year. And this is a collection about war and about inherited memory, family, specifically my family, and their experience in Poland around the time of the Second World War, and my own experience as a young mom returning to the Europe of my ancestors and searching through this landscape of Berlin and Warsaw for traces of my family and my own identity. Frost on the kitchen window, view shrouded, a photograph in which the image develops milky, perdu, but c'est là, somehow. If only one could wave a hand over it, coax up the woozy shape. How many windows, how many forms to fill. Muffled, beyond glass, crows plotting. Ach ja, ach ja. Up and down the streets, casement to casement, a garland of voices in Turkish call and response. 10 days to Christmas. We have an IKEA potted palm. We have felted woolen slippers to fill with sweets. Today, again to the river. Berlin belled with cold. Opelnerstrasse and Mai Ayin route rhymed in grit. Thoughts stream in the second language, trying to grasp the fourth. Recall the Pacific in winter. Dallas Road's wind-combed bluffs, electric with gorse, dogs off leash, snapped into slickers and Fair Isle sweaters. Then farther back, to the Great Lake, ice wearing the limbs of the poplar, clacking its fingers on the slope of Old Lakeshore when Mom and I walked the pier. Moon collapsed in Huron's black mouth. Here, the river is knuckled with ice, almost piled at the knees of the Oberbaum Bridge. How the glaze stacks and abrades as if pulled up on its own elbows, fanning, sighing, kerchiefs triangulating, a rustle like fine hair on skin. Along the banks, no cedar from which to gather boughs, but here are birch cones and willow. Already, I feel close to this river, heavy, hushed, far from the sea. Spree, there's something personal in you. Urban debris, burnt building vestiaries tagged with fuck media Spree, opposite the wall's dead zone. A party of Brits trot by, tapping camera phones. They're punting up snow, horsing. "What's this river?" a tall redhead shouts. Low, under the freeze, the water signals with its phantom hands. Pale shadows waft through the arches of Oberbaum's Gothic crowns, ghosting the mauve cast of skyrises and the appeal of window glow. In none of the windows, nowhere in the city is anyone known to us. J'ai besoin d'Arbeit at the theater, another show. Swathed in fog, a broody heaven, the 100 needle stabs of passerines flocking, ascending. Spring blows into the city, and we tug off our heavy coats and scarves, furs and laces, our woolen underthings limp with the heat of our bodies. We've been itchy to reach each other, running to embrace on the station platform where train whistle, dove warble, and the call of the pretzel seller climb the escalators too. Kids and dogs and couples arriving and departing among the hiss of copper rails, hydraulic doors kissing open and shut. At last, we crouch beneath the wings of the house, two spiders prepping to molt. Piece by piece, our garments fall until we are naked before each other. Here is your chest, where I lay my head. Here, your stomach. And here, the dread of an adolescent tumor notched on your inner thigh. Through the open window comes the scent of cherry blossoms and light that, if we don't take care, will burn us, as they say. Out there, the world reels back and forth and threatens to explode. Neighbors react to the news of the earthquake, tsunami, the fallout, and on the sidewalks, salt and dog shit and spent Christmas trees show beneath the snow, and all these particles are carried on the air and we inhale. The world is strong and tastes of oil and ash. Now we try to talk, but our throats burn. Between us many languages, but each fails us, even our own. Our winter skin so luminous and thin, viscera flicker, palimpsests within. We raise our shoulders, arms, our palms. We're hot to touch, we spark. We've shed our bulky clothes, but still, there is some coating on us, and dark. We'll open up our flesh. We have to try. We'll use our teeth and nails, the friction of our cuticles. We rasp and click, cracking along suture lines with the hooks of our fingers. Our thumbs pressed to skinned tendons, ears to lips, eyeballs to the crevices of rib bones, as if peering through the slits of a window blind. Inside your skull, mycelia, fat, the yolky mulberry of an embryonic structure, walnut-shaped, fathomless, cocooning the tissues of a second brain, trachea, follicles of hair, a lung's moist honeycomb, and the wizened juju of your father's right hand. What does it control, this second medulla? Heart and lungs? Breath and feeling? Is this the inner chamber of your woe? When the blood and plasma start to flow, I take it in my mouth as rain. Now by feel, by taste, I know. Bits of grit, spores from the world's periodic blasts have suctioned to our cells and silently, via our own roots, could mass, leach our blood, shrapnel us. Tonight, when you lie next to me, transfixed by fire and water surging on the screen, since children, metros, planets, beds, and lovers are so lightly swept away, I must not even breathe. Joanne would like to mourn her father. A father is a body of water. Many lives are lost in him. A river dragging its bones through the village beside the chem plants steeped in smoke, a sullen wall of cloud. She walks the St. Clair, singing to herself in a Polish she barely remembers. Chopin, Nocturne, Opus 48, number 1 in C minor. The child within her turns, begins a breech descent where ill fish tongue benzene, toluene, vinyl chloride monomer barrels spilled at Baby Creek. Records are unreliable, and what is lost? The sturgeon, toothless, ancient, night traveler of silt bottom, river, secretive, opaque, a bolt of silk flashed through hands. Under the Blue Water Bridge, a boy with a packet of pickerel bundled in the Observer, eye scratched pink with the fiberglass dust of the past, which is all-seeing and inert. Her father's pigeons cushioned in the shit of a shed's rafters. Umbrella clothesline, gladioli in fields raked with corn. The torn knee of the boy's trousers reminds her. Worsted wool and 2 changes of clothes, wash bucket of lye, leather strap. Under the lights of the bridge, between ash trees, a man and his bicycle, fishing rod, 2/4 on the handlebars, rattling music. Scratched Chopin record, scrolls of cloth in the glass prism of her father's shop. The boy tosses fried potatoes to the gulls, laughs, watches teenagers pier dive. They do not close the beaches, though the lake receives the river. At her mouth, the taste of tobacco. Rusty with chemicals, the river wanders her blood. Water, distant, fast, a burn hole, ashes in cloth. Unseen, the child's hand draws the bow over the strings. I understand you better, ever so minutely now. December evening, cold in the house. Car tires whoosh at a remove in the street without. You again I summon beside me, careening downhill on Dowa's 10-speed, neon frequencies of signage, shops, vehicles, shoelaces unraveling in the periphery, early summer, days unspooled like the kilometers on Dallas Road, wheeling between blue and green. I read the soul weighs 1/20 paper clips. But what else is about it? Quarter notes spritzing from the solar plexus to the tempo of a veiled hand. Fuzzed whiteness, the aura of a dandelion clock or Einstein's pale shock. How heavy are thoughts? That hour when all the broad chestnut leaves show brighter green to the eye just before dark.